Books have shaped human civilization for thousands of years, but have you ever wondered what it really takes to make one? From a forest of trees to the shelf in a bookstore, the journey of a book is long, detailed, and surprisingly mechanical. Let's discover how a book is made step by step in today's industrial world. Before printing presses and offset machines, books were handwritten, an arduous process that could take months, even years. Then came Johannes Gutenberg in the 15th century, revolutionizing the world with movable type printing. Today we use massive offset printers, precision binding machines, and logistics networks to mass-produce books in the millions, all in record time. It all starts with trees. Most paper used in book production comes from softwood trees like pine, fir, or spruce. These trees are harvested from managed forests, often planted in cycles to ensure sustainable sourcing. Once logged, the trunks are debarked, chipped into small pieces, and sent to a paper mill. At the mill, the wood chips are cooked with chemicals in large digesters. This process breaks them down into pulp, a mixture of cellulose fibers and water. The pulp is cleaned, bleached for whiteness, and refined to the desired texture and thickness. Then, it's fed through massive rollers, pressed, and dried into continuous reels of paper, often over a kilometer long. These reels are then sliced into sheets and shipped off to the printer. Now comes the printing. For most books, especially large runs, publishers use offset printing. It's incredibly fast and cost-effective. The content of the book is separated into 4 ink colors: cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, commonly known as CMYK. Aluminum plates are engraved with the pages and mounted onto the press. As the paper flies through the machine at speeds of up to 15,000 sheets per hour, ink is transferred from the plates onto rubber blankets and finally pressed onto the paper. Each printed sheet usually contains multiple pages of the book, often 8, 16, or 32 pages per side, arranged in a layout called a signature. Once all signatures are printed, they are folded precisely using automated folding machines to align the pages in the correct order. But printing isn't everything. The folded signatures are stacked, gathered, and stitched or glued together to form what's called the text block, the interior layer. For paperback books, the edges of this block are trimmed and glued directly to the flexible cover using a method called perfect binding. For hardcover books, the process is more involved. In hardcover production, the stitched or glued text block is first wrapped with a cloth-reinforced spine. Then comes the hard case. 2 thick cardboard boards and a spine board are joined and wrapped with printed paper or cloth to form the outer shell. The text block is glued inside, often with additional end papers for strength. The result? A solid, durable book that can last for decades. Before any book leaves the After binding and trimming, books are packed into cartons and labeled for distribution. From there, they're either sent to warehouses, shipped directly to bookstores, or sold through online platforms. Some even make their way to airport kiosks or coffee shops, depending on the publisher's deal. Of course, there's a digital side to this too. Many physical books are typeset and laid out using specialized software like Adobe InDesign or Quick Express. The files are converted into high-resolution PDFs, which the printing plates are made from. Precision here is critical. Even a 1 millimeter misalignment can ruin the whole print run. And while mass printing dominates, there's still space for short-run digital printing. Print-on-demand services like those used by self-published authors rely on digital inkjet printers, producing a single copy of a book only when it's ordered. This method reduces waste and allows authors to sell globally without holding physical inventory. Let's not forget about the covers. A book's cover isn't just printed, it's carefully designed with lamination, embossing, foil stamping, or spot varnish to make it visually appealing and tactile. Those little shiny effects? That's heat and pressure applied with precision tools, sometimes by hand in smaller runs. Another lesser-known aspect is the binding glue. Most book glue is made from a polymer called EVA or PUR, both flexible and strong. PUR, in particular, has better temperature resistance, ensuring the pages stay intact even after years of use in humid or hot conditions. Ever wondered why some books lie flat when opened, while others don't? That depends on the binding method. Smythe-sewn books, often used in textbooks or premium editions, have thread-sewn signatures that offer flexibility. Perfect-bound books, used in most novels and paperbacks, have glued spines and usually resist lying flat. By the time you hold a new book in your hand, it has passed through more than a dozen machines, multiple human hands, and countless design decisions, from the font on the cover to the type of paper used. Each choice affects not just aesthetics, but durability, cost, and readability. And the logistics? A single factory can produce over 50,000 books per day, and distributors use barcoded labels to track every shipment. Some publishers even use AI to forecast demand, deciding how many books to print before release based on past trends, pre-orders, and digital engagement. Despite the digital age, the physical book industry is still thriving. Over 2 billion books are printed annually worldwide. In fact, in 2023 alone, the US printed over 750 million physical books. There's something about holding a real book, the weight, the smell, the feel of the pages that no screen can replicate. If you've found this video useful, press that subscribe button below, or at least just like the video.